Well, welcome in everybody to another quick hitter episode on the Ohio State Buckeyes on SI YouTube channel. Anthony Maglin here with you. And tonight we're talking quarterbacks, and we're talking our new quarterback, Will Howard. How has he been through the first 3 weeks of his Ohio State career? In my opinion, straight up, I think he's been pretty darn good. But he's gone through some ups and downs, I think, early on in his career as Ohio State finishes their preseason portion of their schedule before they kick off Big Ten play on Saturday at 7 o'clock against the Michigan State Spartans in East Lansing. But for Will Howard, he's gotten off to a pretty solid start, one that I think we could expect him to have as he took the reins of one of the most storied and historic tradition-filled programs in all of the NCAA, and one that has all the expectations. That was something that was that really caught my attention when he first met with the media after his first game against Akron a few weeks back. He's like, you know what? I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I took it in today. I looked around. I looked at my silver helmet. Didn't have any Buckeyes on it at that time, but he goes, I bought into all the traditions. I really tried to soak it all in. And because he did that, he said, and maybe it factored in to my play. But once the game started, he was able to kind of snap back into it. Through the first 3 games, been pretty good. Against Akron, 17 of 28, 228 yards, 3 touchdowns. Against Western Michigan, 18 of 26 for 292 yards and a score. And then on Saturday against Marshall, his best completion percentage day, 16 of 20. For 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 score. On the year, he's had 8 carries for 22 yards, and that's something I'm going to come back to here in a moment. But first, starting with his ability to throw the football. I think he's been incredibly efficient as a thrower to start the season. Right, he's completing more than 60% of his passes. He had an 80% completion percentage last week, and he's doing a really good job of taking care of the football. His 1 interception, we could argue about, and we broke it down on our film episode on Sunday morning. But his 1 interception, I think I would personally give it to the receiver, but it was one of those 50-50 balls that ended up in the defensive back's hands. Nothing he can do on that. But 6 touchdowns on the season to 1 pick, and he's really completing the ball at a high percentage, throwing for a good bit of yards. One of the things that I think that fans of the Buckeyes have noticed, and even the coaching staff too has kind of hinted at, is he is kind of apprehensive to take shots downfield. They're trying to get him to throw the ball vertically down the field. We think back to the Marshall game, his 2 big touchdowns, one to Emeka Egbuka for 68 yards, the other to Jeremiah Smith for just north of 50 yards, were passes that probably traveled a combined 10 yards in the air. The pass to Emeka went sideways, didn't even travel down past the line of scrimmage. The touchdown pass to Jeremiah Smith traveled about 5 yards through the air, 5-6 yards through the air on a slant pass that JJ took and did the rest with. But when you have those explosive players, you have guys who can really take the top off of a defense, can give them a chance near the line of scrimmage. You can also let it rip down the field. So I'd like to see him start pushing the ball vertically down the field. Now, the one place that I thought that we would see a little bit more from Will Howard is in the run game. Now, I say that kind of tongue in cheek. There's a good opportunity or good potential that the Ohio State coaching staff and the play calling is kind of designed right now to make sure he's not taking a bunch of hits. There's no reason to lose him against Akron or against Western Michigan when you have a full Big Ten slate that now features not only Penn State and Michigan, but USC and UCLA and Washington, a ton of big name brands, Oregon Ducks, who we'll see in a couple weeks. But you don't want to get him hurt in games that you should probably win. So maybe that picks up, but maybe it doesn't. He does add an element on the run game that we haven't seen at Ohio State in some years, something that they could continue to lean on. For a final grade, what I would give Will Howard, I'd give him a B-. I think he's been very good. I think he's leaving a little bit to be desired. I think when you look back at not just from a stats perspective, yes, his stats are good. I think from an actual game perspective, when you watch the Akron game, when you watch the Marshall game, the Ohio State offense got off to slow starts. Now, in Western Michigan, they got off to a quick start, and he was very efficient, very good, and was able to come out towards the beginning of that third quarter. However, the 2 other games, the starts weren't all that great. So what I'd like to see from him as Big Ten play kicks off this weekend, I'd like to see just some more efficiency and a more sense of urgency when that offense has the ball. Don't wait for the game. Don't let the game come to you. You can really start to push the issue a little bit, and you're going to have to in some of these cases. You're going to have the better team, the better athletes every time you step on the field. Let's use them. Let's get off to quick starts. Let's try to push that ball down the field a little bit more and do so while still doing a very good job protecting it. Not overly critical of Will. I think he's doing an awesome job. There's just some areas that I think he can continue to improve, and just getting to stand 15 feet away from him in the press conference room and hearing him talk and feeling his energy and his aura, if you will. This kid's got the right head on his shoulders, and I'm excited to see what he turns into as we get deep into Big Ten play. Now, for us, we really appreciate you joining us, joining our site here on our YouTube page, Ohio State Buckeyes on SI. We got so much more coverage just like this all throughout our YouTube page, and we're going to continue to have that, especially as we gear up for a matchup against Michigan State. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, we'll be featuring the Michigan State offense versus the Ohio State defense, taking a look at what Sparty does when they have the football in their hands. Thursday, we'll be doing we'll be doing the reverse. We'll be taking a look at Michigan State's defense and to see if they pose a threat to stopping the Ohio State offense. And then on Saturday, I'll be on site in East Lansing. I'll be at the stadium, so we'll get you with a pregame hit. We'll also get you a postgame to deliver our instant analysis once the Buckeyes and the Michigan State Spartans finish up. If videos are your thing, stick with us on the YouTube channel. If you'd rather read some of our content, we got you covered there as well. Head over to our site, si.com/college/Ohio State, to see all of our written content about the Buckeyes, about how this season's going, and about the outlook heading into the rest of the year. But for now, we appreciate you jumping in with us on tonight's quick hitter. Will Howard's grade 3 games into his Ohio State career. And we always appreciate you hanging with us and look forward to more content of your Ohio State Buckeyes on Ohio State on SI.